Hello. I'm going to be giving an overview of this Kromski Interlude Saxony-style spinning wheel from Poland. This is going to be going to a friend of mine, and I am shooting this video to give her some information on parts of her spinning wheel that she's a brand new spinner, or will be. So to start off with, you have your drive wheel, the spokes, your hub. These are the uprights that hold the drive wheel up. Down here you have your legs, the treadle bar, your treadle, and it goes over and up to a rod that comes behind. This is called the footman rod. It connects up to your crankshaft. And if you look closely, you'll see that these pegs go through and hold the crankshaft and the drive wheel in place. And also, there are little holes in these brass sleeves that run through, the crankshaft runs through, and there are holes in the brass sleeve that you will drop points of oil in. On the opposite side, same thing. You have the brass sleeve, the same pegs that hold the drive wheel into the upright. And there's, I don't know if you can see it. Yes, right there you can see the hole that you drop the oil into. This is your main hub. And let me real quickly show you the typical oil bottle that you will use. So again, you would oil here in that hole on the opposite side, on the outside here of the crank, and down where it goes into the footman rod. Okay. Now, this particular spinning wheel has a built-in lacy Kate, and it's on a nut and screw. Down here is a wing nut. So it makes it convenient because you can fold it in out of your way, fold it out to spin on it. And this has 3 rods in it, so it will hold 3 bobbins, up to 3 bobbins. And if you wish to remove it, it's easy to remove. You just take this wing nut and the whole assembly lifts off. Okay, so now, other important parts of this particular spinning wheel. And let me rotate this around so you can get a good view. This spinning wheel has what is a tilt tensioning system. That is this knob here. And what that does is that helps to put tension on your drive band. Your drive band, of course, goes all the way around your wheel, comes back onto the whirl. So to get a little bit further into all of this entire assembly is called the mother of all. And the 2 upright pieces are called the maidens. They're what holds the flyer assembly, which is this U-shaped device, into place. And it is held there using leather bearings. Now, obviously, this is your bobbin, and the drive band itself on this specific spinning wheel comes back, goes through one of the grooves on the whirl, which is also on this specific Kromski wheel. It is part of the flyer. On some spinning wheels, it would be separate and it would unscrew or pull off. This whirl has 3 different ratios, which means 3 different speeds that you can spin your yarn to. The bobbin. has a thin end, a skinny end, and a fatter end. See how that is wider than this end? I get it. Okay. Now, the reason for that is your Scotch tension, which is how you get the bobbin to draw up the fiber, is this knob here that goes back to, it's a hemp cord, comes up over the bobbin and down to the spring. Okay. One of the big mistakes that some beginning spinners do is they stretch that spring out too much. And if you can see, it's stretching as I'm twisting this knob. There is absolutely no reason to do that. You only tension this hemp cord as much as you need to get the bobbin up here to draw in the fiber. So that's something as a beginner you always want to kind of keep an eye out and make sure that you're not overstretching the spring. It's just, it's counterproductive. You don't really have to do that. The flyer itself has hooks, and as you can see, I have fiber that is running through one of the hooks, and that fiber is, if you were starting with an empty bobbin, this would be a leader that's tied onto the empty bobbin, and it would run through your hooks. You'd bring it in through here. You have an orifice hook. If I can get it off. There we go. And the orifice hook inserts into the orifice and will come back and hook your fiber and draw it out. Okay. These spinning wheels are very, very efficient, very, very easy to use, very consistent. One other thing I want to mention, we spoke about the oiling of the brass sleeves on either side of the drive wheel here and the footman rod. You also want to oil the leathers themselves, this orifice area, inside and out. Don't get it into the grooves of the whirl, because this drive band has to be able to grip. This should always be just a little grippy and rough inside of the grooves. So if you're doing cleaning and maintenance on your wheel, try not to get anything oily or greasy inside of these grooves, because that's what gives you the stickiness and resistance that helps your drive band to work properly. So you're going to oil the leathers here. You're going to oil this part of the bobbin. There's a plastic bearing that's in the bobbin, and you want to lubricate that. On the opposite end of the bobbin is also another plastic bearing and another leather. And with this specific wheel, let's say you're going to change the bobbin out. What you would do is you would take your fingers and pop this up. You take your this Scotch tension off first, unhook it from that little loop, drop it off the back of the bobbin, and then you would pop this up and out. And when you pop it up out of there, it's going to make it loose here, so you can just move this whole assembly out. And you'll have to take the drive band off, and I usually just loop it around here somewhere. And as you can see, when I'm spinning a bobbin full, I always try to make sure that I tie off the my piece that I'm finishing spinning with, what's hanging out, either to one of the maidens, or you can tie it off down to your Scotch tension knob. Okay, so that's your preference. I don't know, I kind of just do it right here because it's up and out of the way, and it works for me. So I hope this helps, and happy spinning.